China's unusual response to Fukushima nuclear power plant treated water. August 24. 12 years ago, there was the Great East Japan earthquake. When the earthquake struck, there was a huge tremor in Tokyo and Osaka, and the people of Japan experienced the horror of the tsunami that followed. A meltdown occurred at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant, and 12 years later, Japan has been considering how to deal with the treated water containing radioactive materials used to cool this reactor. The decision was made to discharge the water into the Pacific Ocean in a way that would ensure its safety. The majority of experts around the world have explained that the release is safe. In Japan, the public is calmly accepting the situation without any major demonstrations. However, friction between Japan and China has increased since Japan began discharging treated water from the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. The Chinese government has announced a total suspension of imports of Japanese marine products as a countermeasure. It has also stirred up great concern about fishing in China. There has been a series of harassing phone calls from China to Japan over the release of treated water from the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant, and many harassing phone calls to Japan have been posted on Chinese SNS. A chain of events has occurred, such as people who saw the SNS calls calling Japan. A ramen store in Fukushima Prefecture and a ramen store in Nagoya also received a series of calls beginning with the Chinese country code 86. TEPCO has received over 6,000 harassing calls from China and other countries. The stanza is that other countries such as the US, Europe, South Korea, and the South Pacific have accepted the contaminated water treatment and that there is no problem. In South Korea, the Yoon administration has taken the stance that the release of treated water is acceptable, despite protest demonstrations by some opposition forces inciting anti-Japanese sentiment. China is in direct opposition to this. China's response has no scientific basis and is said to be based on China's strong political dissatisfaction with Japan, which has been accumulating in recent years. In particular, over Taiwan, the Tsai administration has been strengthening its ties with the United States and other Western countries, but it has also recently become more closely aligned with Japanese politicians. Defense awareness is growing in Japan, including with regard to the Taiwan contingency, and it has been decided to purchase long-range cruise missiles from the United States. Domestically in China, local governments have breached levees in upstream farming villages to protect major cities such as Beijing, and the farming villages themselves have been devastated. In addition, heavy rains have caused major flooding in many areas, leading to growing public dissatisfaction with the government. China's response is also meant to direct public discontent toward Japan. There has been no outcry in Japan over China's response. The Japanese are reacting to the impact of seafood exports to China by suggesting that Japan should actively consume seafood domestically. Thanks for watching.